Here's a fact that may shock you. If you buy a new car, it may not come with a spare tire. We've reached a point in time where we must ask tons of questions about everything we buy. Who would have ever thought we would have to ask if one of the most basic parts of a car comes with the car anymore? I don't think most of us ever did, and most still don't. But it's true, many new cars don't come with spare tires, jacks, or lug wrenches to change tires with. How can this make sense? Well, there are several reasons why manufacturers are eliminating spare tires. First and foremost is to save weight, because saving weight saves fuel, and that's a huge part of designing a modern car. How much fuel? Well, you may be shocked to know that on a car that weighs 3,500 pounds and gets about 25 miles per gallon, it would take 300 to 400 pounds of weight reduction to raise fuel economy 1 lousy mile per gallon. But the average weight of a spare tire and accessories is probably only about 50 pounds at most. So on any one individual car, removing the spare tire would likely save less than 1/10 of 1 mile per gallon, or fractions of a penny per mile. Now, before you start screaming foul, consider that the yearly number of new cars sold in the United States is now hovering around 7 million. See, now if each one of those cars saves 1 gallon of gas per week, the total savings would be 7 million gallons of gas per week. Now, of course, that's very conservative, but it shows how a change that doesn't mean much to us as individuals can be significant when you look at the bigger picture. But what about the cost to individuals? Which is a very different story. Each of us could potentially save a few cents per week, but without a spare tire, what might our costs be? Well, best case is that you have a car with run-flat tires, and there is no monetary penalty because with or without a spare, the cost to fix a normal puncture doesn't change when you have run-flats. To some extent, the same is true with normal tires and a sealer inflator kit in the trunk. You pull over, pump the sealant into the flat, and then use the inflator tool to reinflate the tire. Okay, those are both in a perfect world, but how often is your world perfect? Not often for me, because stuff happens, and rather than a punctured, regular, or run-flat tire, you have a freaking blowout, and the tire is a shredded mess. Now, all the puncture sealant in the world won't bond chunks of rubber back into a tire. So, what then? As the old saying goes, you, my friend, are screwed. Even a bent rim or a repairable puncture that's too large for liquid sealant to seal means call a tow truck and have the car towed, which will cost more than you will likely save in several years from the better gas mileage. So you may want to buy a spare tire, jack, and lug wrench to protect yourself from needing to be towed. Ouch! Another big expense, which you probably can't recover in the life of the car by fuel savings alone. So, like I said, in the end, if your new car doesn't have a spare tire, you will probably be financially screwed. But in the bigger picture, you will have done your part for the greater good. Oh, hell no. You care more about the survival of your bank account than the greater good. Now, if that's you, then before you buy your next car, make sure it has a spare tire. You'll likely be very glad you did in the end. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to Goss's Garage on YouTube. Follow us on Facebook. And for more car tips, tricks, and money-saving ideas, visit goss-garage.com. Drive gently. See you next time, right here in Goss's Garage.